Yes, yesterday we have seen the church history, how the Presbyterian came into the world, the Presbyterianism, and we have seen the origin of Anglican Church also. The Anglican Church, the origin of it, like the Henry VIII, when he wanted to marry again and again and again, when he have requested to the Pope for his cancellation of his first and second marriage, he denied it. For the denied of his marriage, he came out of the church and he started his own church, that is we called Anglican. And we have seen a small differences between the Anglican and to the Roman Catholic. And again, we have seen the Calvin. He introduced the Presbyterianism into this world. And he had given some hierarchy to this world. The presbyters or the elders, then after the priests, then after the administrators, then at last, overseers or the caretakers. We have seen this is still going on, and we have seen why the prosperity gospel came into the church. It is because of the, what is the thing behind? Presbyterianism. Yes, Presbyterianism. This is the thing behind the prosperity gospel. If the Presbyterianism has not involved or not entered into the church, then we wouldn't have got the prosperity gospel. We have seen these things also, and we have seen the biography of Luther, the Reformation, Zwingli, Calvin, all these things we have seen yesterday. Now at last we have stopped at a point called Catholic you have forgotten Catholic counter Reformation. Yes. As the things were going on, many groups were coming out of the Catholic Church. First, we have seen the Eastern or the Greek Orthodox came, then after again the Lutheran, then after the Anglican. As the churches were coming out of the organization, if it have been continued like that, then the Roman Catholic would have been vanished. But why we are still seeing the Roman Catholic? Not only the Roman Catholic, still today Roman Catholic is the topmost populated denomination in the Christianity. It is having like 1.3 billion Catholics. How been it been standing on its feet, even though after its Reformation, even though after these things were happened, how it's been still standing? So the reason behind it is the Catholic counter-reformation. They came to one conclusion that, coming to this topic, the Catholic counter-reformation. Why they have started the Catholic counter-reformation means, they made to one conclusion. What is that conclusion? They cannot stop the Reformation. It is not in their hands, because it is been spreading to every nation. It started in Germany, now it has been went to the Switzerland, and it went into the England. Like that, every nation is been getting the Reformation. They thought that it cannot be in their hands. So, in order to stop the Reformation, they started the counter-reformation. So, what is that counter-reformation means? As I said, in which year it is started and which year it is ended? It started in the year of 1545 and it is ended in the year of 16. Yes. So that is the council. As we are having the council of Zamnia, council of these things, they too got the council. Yes, this is we call the Catholic counter-reformation. Capuchins or Franciscans, Theatines and Jesuits. Have you ever heard of these names? Which one? This one. The last. Jesuits. Okay. Then what about the this and this? Yeah, Franciscans. They came with a plan, or they came with the counter reformation. This is the counter reformation. Yes. Now we will go to these things. Who are these Franciscans or Capuchins? We can call them as Capuchins or Franciscan. They are both same. Theatines, it is separate people, and Jesuits, there are separate ones. So if we see these Capuchins or Franciscans, who are they? Why the Catholic has made 3 groups? Now these 3 are 3 groups or 3 categories. What is this Reformation about means? What is this Reformation about means? The Catholics has took some young people who are aged about 16, 17. They took these people. What they are doing is they are giving the enormous training for 14 years. You are getting me? They are taking the very, very young people, that is the people who are aged about 16 and 17. They are taking these young people and they are giving the enormous training for 14 long years. Now, these people are sending the trained young persons, some people into the Capuchin groups, into Theatines and Jesuits. You're getting me? I will repeat again. They took some very young people, those who are aged about 16 and 17, and they gave the training for almost 14 years. After completion of 14 years, that is, if the person has joined if in the age of 16, now how much it will be the age of his? 30. Now, when he reached the 30 age, now they were selecting few people and sending those people into this category, and that category. What are these 3 categories means? These are 3 groups. 3 groups. What is their intention or goal is they need to establish the Catholic. Yeah, we'll do one thing. Write about the Capuchins or Franciscans. Who are they? Just write like this, Franciscans or Capuchins. And next, Theatines and Jesuits. Now we are going to discuss about these people. Who are they and what is their role? What is their role after being trained for 14 years? You're getting me? After being trained for 14 years, what is their role? These Franciscans, these people wears the brown color hoodies. Brown color. Generally, the Catholics, they wear the white and the black. But these people, in order to differentiate them, these people wears the brown hoodies. Hoodies. Hoodis. Hoodies. Who? Hoodies. Oh. Or you can write like black, brown dresses also. But what does it mean? Capuchin means, Capuchin is a Latin word which means hoodies. They are been wearing the brown dress in order to distinguish these people from other groups. They are also called the Catholic, but these are separate categorized people. You're getting me? They are also called as Catholics, but these people are separately categorized. Yeah, you can see on the screen. The brown color, not the black, not the white, not the mixture of white and black. They totally wear only the brown. These we call as Franciscans. Yes, now we will see their role. Now you got? Yes, now we will see their role. These people For what reason they have been assigned means these people focuses mainly on charity, mainly on charity and benevolence. Benevolence, charity and benevolence, that is like the good things. Why they have been named as Franciscans means they have been inspired from the life of Saint Francis, from Saint Francis. They have been inspired from that man and they have been calling themselves as Capuchins. Capuchins means hoods or hoodies. Franciscans means those people who have been following the life of Saint Francis. Yeah. Now what is their role means? They work among the poor people. They work among the poor people and their main role is to do the charity work. They have to go to the poor people. They have to preach about the Catholic. You are getting me? You are getting me or not? Their main role is not to go to the city centers, not to the malls, not to the very rich man's, but their main focus onto the poor. That's why if we see these Franciscans, we can only found in the poorest sections of the towns. Poor sections of the town. So they have to go to the poor people and they have to give or do some charity. After receiving the charity, the people, now they will give their ear to these Franciscans. You're getting me? And these people will tell about the Catholic. They will establish some group or they will establish some Catholic church over there. So this is their main role and there is nothing else. This is their main role. The Franciscans. The next one, 13th, a Catholic order of clerics. Clerics. A Catholic order of clerics. Just like they have been under the priest, the servants of the priest or assistants of the priest, and on one day they can also become the priest. A Catholic order of clerics or clergy, we are called like. These people, what they will wear is a white garment under the black. Inside they will wear the black, to the outside they will wear the white. Yes, the first point, this is not the teachings, we are talking about the Jesuits, to establish schools, to establish the hospitals and to provide medical care. And the third point, to propagate Catholic beliefs through missionary works. Missionary works. There is missionary works. You are getting me? To establish the schools, to establish the hospitals and to provide the medical care. The third one, to propagate the Catholic beliefs through missionary works. Have you seen these works? We are just witnessing the works of these people. So the Catholic made a plan and they took the people who are aged about 16 and 17 and they gave the training for 14 years. In order to become a priest in the Catholic, they need to go through the training for 14 years. I think it's still running on, the 14 years training. Not 3, not 2, not 1 year. The training will be like 14 years. It is initially was founded on this period, 1545 to 1648. So they have categorized into 3 groups. They will gather a bunch of young people. They will gather a bunch of young people after giving the training, they will send few young people into this group. They will send few people into this group. They will send few people into this group. You're getting me? And the main roles of these people is these Capuchins, they are Franciscans. They have to focus on the poor people. They have to go. They have to give some charity works. They have to do some charity works. They have to give some food, some water, some needs, and they have to propagate the Catholic beliefs. This is their role. Coming to these Theatines, they were the ecclesi or the clerics, which were under the priesthood. They have to serve the priest, and after a few years, they can also become the priest. You are getting me? But they are not allowed to go to the people, poor people, or they cannot allowed to go and establish the schools. This group is separate, this group is separate. This group role is separate, this group role is separate. You're getting me? And coming to the Jesuits, they are having three main goals. That is, to establish the schools. Where there is no education, they have to go there and they have to establish the schools with some very good disciplined schools like we are seeing. And the second one, they have to establish the hospitals, and they have to do, or they have to provide the medical care, like giving some camps or been providing some medical camps like that. And the third point, they have to propagate the Catholic beliefs through these missionary works. You're getting me? So how they have faced the Reformation in those times means, why we are still seeing the Catholics means, this is the reason behind it. This is the reason behind it. But this was continued almost like 100 years. But after few years, what happened is, we can just only see these Jesuits. These Franciscans also were there, but not popular as Jesuits. Now, these three roles were being doing by Jesuits. You're getting me? Now Jesuits were doing the three roles. Now they are establishing the schools, some of them. Now some of them were appointed as priests. Now some of them were going to the poor people. But initially, the Catholic Counter-Reformation was three categories. So this is how they faced the Reformation. They cannot stop the Reformation. That's why they're going into the nations. They're going into the poor people. They're establishing the schools, establishing the hospitals, doing the missionary works, and propagating the Catholic beliefs. Now, who will deny it if the person does like that? If a person was giving some good education to your son or daughter, they are giving some good treatment to your mother and to your father, and he's coming and to join in their belief, how can we deny it? We can't. And still now, in Kenya, I don't know, in India, they will come to the Protestants and they will offer the schools. Why you are going to the Protestant church? You have to give the tithe. If you come to the Catholic, we can provide you the free education. In Kenya, is it still going on? Yeah, we will give you one medical card. You can access to our hospitals with low cost. There is no need to give the tithes every time, as like in the Protestant church. Come, join us. The people who have been so poor, they have been hearing this and they are agreeing to join these beliefs. Not for the sake of belief, but for the sake of these benefits. You're getting me? So this is the Catholic counter-reformation. How it stood in this world. How it countered the Reformation or reformers means this is the thing what happened. So this thing was being held up in the council that is happened between 1545 to 1648. Many gatherings or many councils were happened. At last they came to one conclusion and appointed these people. And these people, they are still working on. Like these are the backbone. You're getting me? To the front we can see the Pope. To the front we can see the priest. But how the congregation is been growing means this is the backbone of it. This is the backbone of it. If there is no backbone, means they cannot sustain in the world. Still now, if they are removing these three groups, if they are stopping the missionary works, if they are stopping the schools, if they are stopping the hospitals, if they are not stopping the charity works, means within 10 or 15 years, the Catholic will be vanished. You are getting me? If there is no benefit, who will join? No one. They have been joining for the benefits, for the sake of benefits. So this is how the counter-reformation happened. And later, there are still so many counter-reformations. What are those means? They are allowing all beliefs into the church. Like, if a person coming from the Protestant or from the Pentecostal, he can worship as he wants, but in the Catholic Church. He should be called as Catholic, but his belief is different from these Jesuits. You're getting me? I will say once again, if I'm a Pentecostal person, if I would like to join the Catholic, but I believe in Trinity, I believe in Holy Spirit, I believe in the miracles, if I would like to join the Catholic, I have to forsake all my beliefs initially. But now, I can put my beliefs. You are getting me? I can hold my beliefs, but I can be a Catholic. They are allowing all the beliefs from all the denominations. But the thing is, they just need to be called as Catholic. In the heart, whatever they may be, in the heart, if they are a good person, if their beliefs are different, no problem to them. Now they have been allowing all denomination groups into the church. They are saying, you can worship as you want. If you want to speak in the tongues, you can. If you are believing in the miracles, you can. If you are approving the Trinity, you can. But be a Catholic. Be a Catholic. Like these things, the counter-reformation was still going on. That's why we can see the whole population that is like 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion of Catholics were still there. So this is the backbone of it. Initially, before 15th century, there are no groups. There are no categories. There are no charity works. Only intake. Only intake. We have seen the Dead Sea. What it will do? It will just intake. Before 15th century, if we see the system of the Catholic, it is only intake. But after the 15th and the 16th century, it has changed. Their beliefs has not changed, but the system changed. Now they started giving the charity. Now they started giving the need. They started everything. So that is how it has been there. Yes, this is the Catholic Reformation. Yes. Now we will see about few other churches. That is, we are not going into the deep, but I will say only few things. First, we will see about Jehovah's Witnesses. Yes, we need to know their beliefs. If not, they will come into the houses of your believers. They will just grab them. Are they coming into the houses of your believers? Yes, even in India. Then as the priests, as the bishops, as the pastors, as the overseers, we need to know their beliefs. Now, write down about the Jehovah's Witnesses. Initially, but in the church history, we are not discussed about their beliefs, or we called it as like cults. Because there is a separate subject called cults or religious. In the religious subject, you will know about the every other religion, but in the same way, you will get to know what is their origin and what is the beliefs that are there in the Christian denominations. But this, as we are discussing the church history, it is a part it is not the in the part, but still I would like to give only some few things. Yeah, right. The Jehovah Witnesses. The first point is the one who founded it, Charles Russell. Yes, he is the founder of it. He is the founder of it. It is the initial name. What we are seeing, the Jehovah Witnesses, was not the initial name. Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, it was the initial name. Later it has been modified into Jehovah Witnesses, or simply JW. JW. If you search any topic in the Google, the first website, it will show about the JW. So be very cautious while you are browsing about the things which are in the Bible. You are getting me? If you search about the life of the Moses or anything like that, it will show up. So be very cautious while you are still browsing in the internet also, because now they have been in the internet. They have hide the web developers, many things, designers. So be very cautious. That is the symbol. It won't mention like Jehovah Witness, but it will mention like JW. Yes? Yeah. We'll say only few things. Because anyhow you are not having this religious subject. It will be in the MTH or like in the BD. But you will get in depth in the later on. But I would like to give only small information. This Russell has founded this Watchtower Bible and Tract Society in the year of 1817. Not only that, when he was like 20 years old, he started a students' association. And he named it as International Bible Student Association. He named it as International Bible Student Association. They don't have churches. These people, they don't have churches. Then what they are having? Yes, kingdom halls. They don't have churches, or they don't call the churches as churches. They call as kingdom halls. Yes, have you written? They believe second coming of Messiah was already happened. They believe the second coming of Messiah was already happened, and it was invisible. But if we see in the first and second epistles to the Thessalonians, we can see this second coming of Messiah was not invisible. You're getting me? It is visible to all the people. All the people will know that the Jesus has came the second time. But these people are saying it is invisible, and it was already happened in the year of 1914. 1914. Now it is 2023. Before approximately 100 years, the Christ has came, it seems. The tribulations happened, it seems. Yes, these are the things they believe. They believe Jesus was born on earth as a mere human. as a human. You can write like that also. Jesus was born on earth as a human, not God in human flesh. Not God in the human flesh. Or you can simply write this also. They don't believe in incarnation. They don't believe in incarnation or manifestation. The first episode of Timothy chapter 3:16, we can see the God was manifested into the flesh. But these people deny it. They reject the Trinity. They reject the Trinity. And they reject the deity of Jesus. Deity of Jesus. Deity of Jesus. That they don't believe Jesus is a God. What they believe is Jesus was the archangel Michael or Michael. Archangel Michael or Michael. You know archangel? Yes, these are the things they believe. His founder, that is Russell, has said the world will end in 1843. The world will end in 1843. Is the world ended? And what he said after the 1843, the people asked to Russell, hey, you have said the year of 1843, the world will end. It's not ended. Then he said, oh, there are some miscalculations, but I'm very sure in 1844, the world will end. But 1844 also passed. You're getting me? In the 1843, he announced publicly that the world is going to end on 1843. So the many people believed it. Some people even they sold their properties. Because if the rapture is coming, if the world is going to end, what is the need of it? And they gave it for the charity. Because if in the end, if they do the charity, it will be helpful in the event they thought. You're getting me? So they gave all their properties for the charity. But in the 1843, it didn't end it. They went to the Russell and asked, hey, it didn't end it. We gave up all the property. Then he said, oh, there are some miscalculations when I've been doing. So, but I'm sure in 1844, it's going to end. But now 2023. Yes, these are the basic things about them. We should not go into very depth. These are the basic information. Have you got? What they are doing is totally opposite. What they are doing is totally opposite to the Bible. They just only believe Jehovah is the God, not the Jesus, not the Holy Spirit. Sometimes they don't even believe in the names of the God, that is El Shaddai, Elohim. They just believe in Jehovah. That's it. Next. Have you written? This much is enough for us. We should not go deep. Huh? The next one is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You don't know? Yes, then you can write the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or Mormonism. Oh, you are in confused. You didn't ever hear about this? Yes. You will be shocked by seeing their beliefs. I'm not writing on the board. I should not. That's why I didn't wrote the name of that also. But yeah, I will tell the spelling. Which one you want? Mormonism. M-O-R. 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 M-O. M-O-R. M-O. N-I-S-M. Nism. Mormonism. Mormonism. Have you got the name or the church name? The Church of Jesus Christ. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day. L-A-T-T-E-R. Latter. Yeah, his founder is Joseph Smith. The founder of it is Joseph Smith. It is founded by Joseph Smith in year 1830. 1830. On April 6th. 1830 by Joseph Smith. You will be shocked by seeing their beliefs. Yeah. They believe God used to be a man on another planet. They believe God was a man, but he lives on another planet. Not on the earth, but there is a separate planet. He lives over there. The second point, the Father has a body of flesh. The Father means Jehovah had a body of flesh and bones. And it is tangible as humans. You know, tangible, intangible. Yes. They believe Jehovah has a body of flesh and bones, and it is tangible. They believe the God lives on another planet, not on the earth. They believe he is not in the heaven, but on another planet. you, you will just laugh at me. God is married to his goddess wife. As I said, you will laugh at me. God is married to his goddess wife. And they're having the spirit children. Spirit, S-P-R-I-T, spirit children. And Jesus was the firstborn spirit child. Jesus Christ was the first born spirit child. The next, God was once a sinful man. God was once a sinful man who became God. God was a sinful man who became God. Who became God? Have you written? And men today can also become God. Yes. And men today can also become God. You didn't ever hear about this belief? Oh. Go to them and ask, are you gods? They say, yes, we are gods. God was once a sinful man who became God, and men today can also become God. That is only after you become a good Mormon. That is only when after you became a good Mormon. Mormon means the one who is following that. When you became a good Mormon, you will have the potential of becoming a god. After you became a good Mormon, you will have the potential, P-O-T-E-N-T-I-A-L, potential of becoming a god. Up to this point, I will explain. We know who is founded it, and they believe Jesus was a firstborn. They're not going to the Jesus, but they're going directly to the Jehovah and saying, Jehovah was once a sinful man. He lives on separate planet. He was been married, and once he was a sinful man, but he became a god. So we are also humans. We are also sinned, so we can also become God. You're getting me? But only when they are the good Mormons, when they have become a good Mormons, when it seems, when they are giving the tithes regularly to the Mormons, when they have been attending the church very regularly, they can have the potential to become the God. Yes. After visiting to your house, if you are having any neighbors of the denomination, go and ask them, are you God? Yes. They will say yes. And there are even worse. Forgiveness of sins is obtained. Forgiveness of sins is obtained. Forgiveness of sins is obtained by obedience to the Mormon church. By obedience to the Mormon church. In that point, they believe the sins will be forgiven when they have been obedient to the church, not to the God, not to the faith, not through the repentance, but when they have been obedient to the church, their sins will be forgiven. The last point is baptism. They are still following baptism by proxy. Proxy means somebody. Yes. What they are doing is, I will explain. When a person has died, it assume like in the 1800s or 1950, when a person has died like 50 years back, he didn't been saved, he didn't gone through the baptism. Now they are bringing some person. You're getting me? Like suppose, Bishop Kevin, can you help me with it? Can you come over here? Yes, don't become that. Never, ever, don't become that. So assume this is Bishop Kevin. His grandfather has died. His grandfather has died a long ago. Assume he's not been saved. Is he saved? No. Yes, he was not saved. So I will take this Bishop Kevin to the church, to the baptism pool, and I will give the baptism to Bishop Kevin. In the name of that is grandfather. So his grandfather will get the baptism. This is baptism by proxy. Yes, you can have a seat. There are even worse things they are still following. This is baptism by proxy. Yes, I think these are enough. These are the basic things we can know. Assume these things, if they are being calling themselves as the Christians, then what about the day on the judgment? Not only the Catholics, you are getting me. There are many people. We have to save them. Yes, it is our responsibility. We have to save them. But what they are doing is, the people were focusing on the Gentiles. Then what about these people? What about these people? Their beliefs are still even worse. The next is like Seventh-day Adventist. founded by Ellen G. White and James S. White in the year of 1860. They believe the Sabbath. They believe in the day of Sabbath. They believe in the day of Sabbath. They believe in this verse, Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 to 10. Can we read that verse, Bishop? The Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 to 10.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 to 10. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates.
Yes, thank you. So they believe in this verse, they are following the Sabbath day. Initially, if we see, the seventh day is Sabbath, that is Saturday. You're getting me? But initially in the Old Testament time, the seventh day, the day started from Sunday, and the seventh day is Saturday. Yes, we will agree that the seventh day is Saturday, but only when up to the time of the Jesus, we have to follow the Sabbath, that is on the seventh day. Many people were calling Sunday is also the Sabbath. No. Sunday is the resurrection day. Sunday is not the Sabbath. The day of the Lord. The day of the Lord, it is mentioned in the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 10. Can we read that verse, Bishop? Revelation chapter 1, verse 10.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 10. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice like a trumpet.
Yes, I was in the Spirit. Was I in the Spirit on the Lord's day? Here in the book of Revelation chapter 1, verse 10, it was mentioned the Lord's day. It is not the Sabbath, it is the Sunday. The Lord's day. When the Lord has resurrected, it has been called the Lord's day. Not the Sabbath day that we are calling the Lord's day. If we see the Bible itself says the seventh day is Saturday, but not the resurrection day. You're getting me? Let me give you one more verse. Gospel of Mark, chapter 2, verse 27 and 28. Gospel of Mark, chapter 2, verse 27 and 28.
Verse 27. He said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. 28. So the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath.
People were having the beliefs of the Sabbath, not only the Sabbath, they are still following the law of Moses. They believe the 10 commandments was given to Adam and Eve. You're getting me? They believe in 10 commandments. But in the same way, what they believe is, these 10 commandments was not only given to the Israelites, it been given to Adam and Eve also. And they believe in 28 fundamentals. They believe in 28 fundamentals. The main thing they believe is 10 commandments. I will just explain why we should not follow the Sabbath. That's why. Yeah, have you written? They're following what the Jews are following. Just what they are doing is they're following what the Jews are following. They're following the whole Old Testament, and they believe mainly on 10 commandments. They believe mainly on 10 commandments, and these 10 commandments, they believe it was being given from Adam and Eve. But the Bible clearly mentions from when the 10 commandments came into this world. In the days of Moses, the God has given. That's why we are calling the law of Moses. But they believe From Adam and Eve, they are getting the 10 commandments. They're still following and mainly focusing on the 10 commandments. On the seventh day, that is on Saturday, they will attend the church. They will worship the Jesus. Yes, they are worshiping the Christ also. But what they are doing is they are attending on the Saturday. On Saturday, some people, not all the people, but the people who are very strict in that denomination, they don't go to work. They don't even cook the food. You're getting me? They don't even cook the food. As we have seen in the book of Exodus, we have read the 2 verses. What it has mentioned. Can we read the verses once again? The book of Exodus. Let me say the verse. Chapter 20, 8, 9 and 10. Chapter 20, 8, 9 and 10. So if you want to know the belief, this is their beliefs.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8 to 10. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Verse 9. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. Verse 10. But the Sabbath day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant or your livestock or the sojourner who is within your gates.
Yes, they should not go to the work. They should not even cook the food. They should not come out of the house. They should not do anything. On the seventh day, that is on the Sabbath, they just need to worship. So still they are following that rule. Yeah, we come to the point of why we should not follow the Sabbath. Because in the Gospel of Mark, as we see in chapter 2, verse 27 and 28. If they are asking why should not follow, I am giving you the Gospel of Mark, chapter 2, verse 27 and verse 28. Yeah, can we read the verse once again?
The book of Mark, chapter 2, verse 27 and 28. And he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. 28. So the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath.
Yes. Now, when the Jesus Christ and the disciples were walking on the field and walking onto the crops, some people came to the Jesus and saying, hey, you belongs to the Jews, but why you are not following the Sabbath? And the verse 27, the Bible clearly mentioned, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. You are getting me? The Sabbath has made for the man in order to worship on that day. But when the Christ has died on the cross, there is no need of particular day. You're getting me? But why we are following on the Sunday means on the initial days, that is the apostles, they didn't follow the Saturday, but they followed the Sunday. Even the Peter, even the Paul, even what we are seeing, the pillars of the Christ, they followed the Sunday. But if we go to the Arabs, if we go to the Saudi Arabia, if we go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, do you know on which day they are doing the service? Friday. Now, what the Bible clearly mentions, the day is not particular. The soul is particular to the Lord. You're getting me? That's why it is mentioned, the Sabbath is made for the man, not the man made for the Sabbath. But these people, what they're doing is, they assume, oh, we have been created for the Sabbath. But the Bible mentioning, the Sabbath is created for us. And do you know who is the Lord of the Sabbath? Jesus Christ, on the verse 28. Jesus Christ is the Lord of the Sabbath. If He is the Lord of the Sabbath, why we have to celebrate or worship on Saturday rather than Sunday? You're getting me? For that better explanation, I will just give you small example. Assume if a small boy has been requesting his father, Father, I would like to join the online classes. I am not having the mobile phone. Can you purchase me some mobile phone? Means, as per his request, the father has purchased and gave him a mobile phone. You are getting me? for the sake of the online classes. But what he was doing is, he was not attending the online classes, but he was started playing the games. You're getting me? Initially, what is the request to the father? Father, please, I need to attend the online classes. Please provide me the phone. Means he provided it. Who will deny? If the person or the child or the daughter wants to study, who will deny it? So he purchased and give it to him. But what he is doing is not attending to the classes, but he is playing the games on the phone. On one day, while he was playing, it has been slipped from his hands and it was broke down. You're getting me? So now he went to the father. He went to the father and asking, Father, phone has broken. Now assume like this. Now the father, will he repair the phone, or for the committing of that thing, will he forsake the child? You're not getting me. I will repeat it again. The father got to know that he is not using the phone for the online, but he is using to play the games. And he has purchased a very, very costly mobile, but he broken into like pieces. Now, will the father outcast the son for breaking the phone? Is here the son is important or the phone is important? You're getting me? Same just like that. The Lord has created the Sabbath for us. If we keep the Sabbath, and the Lord is looking for us, not for the Sabbath. You're getting me? The Lord, as the example, who is important means the son or the mobile means son. Son is important. Same just like that, if the Lord comes and has to go through some examination like Sabbath is important or the people means, he will choose the people. Because the Sabbath has been created for the people. You're getting me? If it has broken also, the more important is to the people. You're getting my point? But what they will do is, they will say this sentence, if they are not attending the Sabbath, directly going into the hell. Yes, they will say, those people who are not attending the Sabbath will go into the lake of fire. But here it is clearly mentioned, and even the apostles, they are worshipping on the Sunday, not on the Sabbath. Sabbath is created for only up to the Old Testament time. Sir, okay, we can assume like this also. If they are really wants to follow the Bible, why they are only following the Sabbath? What about the 5 sacrifices and 7 festivals? You're not getting me. If they are following the Sabbath very strictly, yes, also, okay, we will also follow the Sabbath. Then what about the rest of the 5 sacrifices? What about the 7 festivals? We have to follow that one also. Isn't it? If we following one thing, we have to follow Old Testament. We have to give the offerings, we have to give the sacrifices every day. We have to go to the Jerusalem for the attending of festivals. Yes. We have to mourn on the wall. We have to do the same things as the Jews were doing. But they are just picking the only one thing from the Bible, and they are saying if they are attending on the Saturday, it will make him to enter into the heaven. Then what about the rest of the Old Testament? So this is the beliefs of the Seventh-day Adventists. This was been founded by Ellen G. White. The people will call them as prophetess. We don't know why they have been calling them like that, but they believed her and they have been following her. They are still following the Moses law, not the complete Moses law. The complete Moses law is they have to follow the sacrifices, they have to offer the offerings. You're getting me? They have to attend the 7 festivals. They have to go to the Jerusalem every year 3 times. But how many times they are going? Not even once. Every year they have to go 3 times. As like the Mary went to the Jerusalem by carrying the Jesus, they also need to carry their children to the Jerusalem. They have to go through the flights. They have to attend. They have to do everything. But the Sabbath is only created for the sake of the man up to the Jesus Christ death. When the Jesus Christ has died, it has become the Lord's day, that is the Sunday. So we will see the rest of the topics tomorrow. Thank you so much.